بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في محاضرة اليوم سوف نتكلم عن قصة Ernest Hemingway A Clean Well-Lighted Place. Clean Well-Lighted Place is written by Ernest Hemingway, American writer. The plot of the story starts with an old man sitting alone in a cafe. Last week, he tried to commit suicide. He tried to kill himself. His plan to stay longer in the cafe was interrupted by the impatient young waiter. He's lonely. I am not lonely. I have a wife waiting in bed for me. The old man pays and leaves the cafe. The old man pays and leaves the cafe. Each night, I am reluctant to close up because there may be someone who needs a cafe. The old waiter goes to the bar and drinks coffee. Hail nothing, full of nothing, nothing is with thee. The older waiter goes home. After all, he said to himself, it is probably only insomnia, lack of sleep, inability to sleep. Many must have it. The cafe closes. It wasn't a fear or a dread. It was a nothing that he knows too well. So here we talk about loneliness, loneliness of America, loneliness of old people who have nobody to care about them. They suffer from loneliness and alienation. So they are afraid of the night. So they need a well-lighted cafe to stay longer during the night till they are able to go to sleep during the day. But here we have a young waiter who has a wife who is young and he wants to go home early, not caring about the feelings of old people who are lonely and who have nobody to care of them. So what he says, each night I am reluctant to close up because there may be someone who needs a cafe. That is the old waiter who is sensitive about and sensitive about the feelings of the old people in America. But the young waiter, as young people, he is impatient. He doesn't want to wait. He wants to go back home early for his wife. Theme, idea. Mankind tends to grow old. Mankind tends to fall to the depths of loneliness and nothingness. Mankind tends to fall into the depths of loneliness and nothingness. Grow old, despair, feeling of nothingness. Mankind tend to grow old and fall to the depths of despair, loneliness, and the feeling of nothingness. With the globalization, with means of technology, with the First World War, with the Second World War, with revolution here and there, man lost faith in all institutions, whether social, religious, economic, and felt alienated, felt lonely. For that reason, we find mankind tends to grow old and fall to the depths of loneliness and nothingness, depths of despair مع التغيرات الحديثة والحرب العالمية الأولى والثانية والكساد الاقتصادي والتغيرات في هذا المجتمع الحديث وفقدان الإنسان الثقة في المؤسسات الدينية والاجتماعية والاقتصادية. نرى معدلات عالية من الانتحار ومن الوحدة ومن اليأس في مجتمع رأسمالي لا توجد فيه قيمة إلا للدولار وإلا للمال. القيم تم التخلص منها، القيم الإنسانية الجميلة والاهتمام والرعاية تم التخلص من هذه القيم لكي نصبح عبيد للآلة الرأسمالية. Main characters. We find the old man who comes to the cafe to drink. He's rich, but deaf, lonely, old man. He tried to commit suicide more than one time. What is the benefit of money for him when he is old and when he is deaf and when he is lonely and when there is nobody around? The old waiter understanding because he knows that he is closer to that stage, compassionate, feeling for the other, insisting in closing late, maybe someone who suffers from insomnia, someone who cannot sleep during the night out of loneliness and alienation. Maybe someone needs a cafe. And we have the young waiter, insensitive and immature. He doesn't care about the feelings of the other. He talked rudely to the old man that we have finished and we cannot serve you more wine and we cannot serve you more than this and we have to close and we have to close and go back home early. So here we have three characters in this story: the old man, old waiter, young waiter, old man rich but deaf, lonely, and old man, the old waiter understanding and compassionate, and the third one insensitive and immature. إذا قلنا الرجل العجوز غني ولكن لا يسمع ووحيد وكبير في السن، الجرسون الكبير متفهم ويعطف على الآخرين ويفهم معاناة الآخرين وهو قريب من هذه المرحلة. وأما الجرسون الصغير في السن هو غير حساس وغير ناضج وليس لديه الخبرة ويهتم بأموره الشخصية فقط. Setting. If we talk about the setting, it is late night at the cafe in Spain. Offers the purpose to let people realize and accept that we will reach the point where we will feel empty and losing purpose in life as we aged. Early things meant nothing, including religion, because the prayers only cannot save one person from despair. Point of view, it is the third person. So what is the message of the author's purpose? Is to let people realize and accept that we will reach a point where we will feel empty and losing purpose in life as we aged. Now we don't feel it because we are working. Now we don't feel it because we have to raise our children. But once we become old and we accomplish all our tasks and duties in life, we will feel that there is no purpose in life and our life is empty and we will suffer from loneliness if there is nobody around us. For that reason, old people like their kids, to be around them, to be able to continue their life. And if it comes to the narration and the narrative technique, you will find the third person, the old waiter speaks, and the young waiter speaks, and the writer, the invisible writer, speaks about characters. إذا الهدف من هذه القصة أن الناس تدرك بأن الإنسان سوف يصل إلى مرحلة يشعر بكبر السن، بالفراغ، بالوحدة، عندما ينجز كل مهامه في الدنيا، عندما يتقاعد، عندما يقوم بتربية أولاده، يصل إلى مرحلة هي مرحلة الفراغ، يشعر بالفراغ ويشعر بالوحدة في نهاية الحياة. Symbolism, cafe, peace of mind. It is known that the modern short story is known for its symbolism, to convey a message within a few words, uses the economy of words. So cafe is a symbol of peace of mind, can ease the feelings of loneliness, even just in a short period of time, because of its relaxing ambience, especially when the cafe is well lighted, clean, and in order. People go outside to relax. It is a habit for Americans and Europeans to spend some time outside the restaurant, to eat, to relax, meet friends. That is good and positive for the mind of the person. And in order to get rid of the stress of work and the stress of the capitalist life. So the cafe is a symbol of peace of mind, ease the feelings of loneliness, even for a short period of time, because of its relaxing ambience, especially when the cafe is well lighted, clean, and in order. The old man doesn't want to go to the discotheque or a pub. He wants a clean, peaceful, well lighted cafe to relax and to sit with himself and to remember the past and to cherish the good moment he enjoys now. Old men need peace, need well lighted, clean, or in order cafes and the places to sit. The mood, the mood of the short story, despair and loneliness. Every person knows, every person knows the feeling of being in despair when you lose interest in everything. But sometimes one must struggle alone. You are in despair and you are struggling alone. So the mood was of despair, loneliness, thinking of committing suicide, ending life, unable to wait to live like this forever. I want to die before death comes to me. I am unable to wait for death to come to me. إذا سيطر على القصة مشاعر اليأس، مشاعر الوحدة. كل شخص ممكن يشعر باليأس، ولكن في بعض الأحيان يجب أن يعاني من الوحدة واليأس وحيدا. وهنا يعبر عن حالة إرنست هيمنغواي في أواخر سنواته، حيث كان يعاني من جروح المعارك، وكان يعاني من الوحدة، وكان يعاني من اليأس، وكان يعاني من إدمان الشراب، وفي النهاية قام بإنهاء حياته بإطلاق الرصاص على رأسه وانتحاره. Style. The style of a well-lighted, clean cafe, iceberg principle. Small information is provided. Minimalist and sparse. Few adverb and adjectives. uses the pronoun without clarifying the subject. So we have a style, straightforward, short, some symbolic words, minimalist, stars, adverb, few adverb, adjective, and it is called I spare principle, the small information in provide. So we can say that the style of Ernest Hemingway is short, straightforward, to say everything in a few words. فكان أسلوب إرنست هيمنجواي هو أسلوب مختصر، كلمات بسيطة، كلمات رمزية، صفات قليلة، وإيصال أكبر كم من المعلومات بكلمات قليلة. Background. Hemingway was a heavy drinker in his time. Therefore, it is not odd that he would write a story about a deaf old man getting drunk in a cafe at night, or another older man insisting that he has insomnia. Many of his other stories included people that were drinking, drunk. His characters try to drink their pain away, much like he probably did. So there is a biographical element in this story which reminds us, which reminds us, which reminds us that Hemingway was a heavy drinker, and it is natural that he would write a story about a deaf man who gets drunk in a cafe in order to escape from his loneliness, in order to alleviate his pain, or an older man insisting that he has insomnia, lack of sleep. And that is reflection of Ernest Hemingway's personal life in his last years and days. So many of his other stories included people that they were drinking or drunk. His characters try to drink their pain away, much like he probably did. لذلك نقول أن سيمويه كان إنسان مدمن على الكحول، ومن الطبيعي أن نرى في قصصه أناس يشربون ويشربون في الليل، وناس يعانون من قلة النوم والقلق والأرق. كثير من قصصه تتضمن شخصيات فيها أناس يشربون وأناس يعانون من إدمان الكحول، وبمحاولة للهروب من مشاكلهم والتخلص من آلامهم. وهذا يعكس جانب شخصي في حياة إرنست هيمنغواي الذي عانى في أواخر سنواته من الآلام ومن السرطان وجروح المعارك والحرب وإدمان الكحول، واللي في النهاية أدى إلى انتحاره في محاولة للتخلص من الآلام. Tone and style. The tone of the short story is cold, insensitive, not compassionate. You should have killed yourself last week, he said to the dead man. The barman looked at him but did not answer. It is too late at night for conversation. I wouldn't want to be that old. An old man is a nasty thing. So you'll find the tone of the short story here is cold, insensitive, not caring. The young widow speaks of the old man. You should have killed yourself last week. You should not be a troublesome to us. The barman looked at him but did not answer. It was too late at night for conversation. And he said, I wouldn't want to be that old. An old man is a nasty thing, is something that which is not good. It is a horrible thing. Even we look at the style, Hemingway uses the common vernacular acronym KISS, keep it simple, stupid. He uses short words, easy vocabulary, many pronouns. His language is very simple and straightforward. But when we come to the style of Ernest Hemingway, he will find that he uses the vernacular acronym KISS, keep it simple, stupid. He uses short words, easy vocabulary, many pronouns. His language is very simple and, as I said, straightforward. إذا اطلعنا على لهجة القصة، لهجة باردة ليس فيها عاطفة. الجرسون الصغير يتخاطب الرجل الكبير الأطرش، يقول له يجب أن تكون، يجب يعني كان لازم تكون حالك الأسبوع اللي فات لأنك أنت متعبنا ووجودك يعني ما في منه فايدة. أنت بتيجي على الكافيه وبتخلينا نسهر معاك وإحنا في حاجة للراحة والذهاب إلى طبعا بيوتنا. إحنا كمان مش حابين نكبر ولا مش حابب أكبر لأن الكبر شيء مرعب وشيء قبيح. يتكلمنا عن الأسلوب. استخدم الرسول الاختصار دائما. اجعل كتاباتك مختصرة وبسيطة. استخدم الكلمات القصيرة، المفردات السهلة، والكثير من الضمائر. لغته بسيطة ومباشرة. Characters. If we look at the characters, we find the old waiter, young waiter, old man, all-night cafe waiter, barman. None of the characters in the story are named, so the story may remain simple. And one of the characteristics of the mother short story, we don't name characters because we focus on the experience and we focus on the impression rather than the names of the characters. And it is an illusion that what happened to these people can happen to other people in Cuba, other people in America, other people in the Arab world. So we are here, we focus on the experience more than anything else. For that reason, we have no characters and we don't have names for these characters. Most important is the experience and impression conveyed. إذا ده شخصيات الرجل العجوز والجرثوم الكبير والجرثوم الصغير، كل هذه شخصيات ليس لها أسامي لأنه من مزايا القصة القصيرة الحديثة عدم إعطاء أسماء، لأن المهم معرفة التجربة وإيصال التجربة. ممكن اللي حدث معهم يصير مع آخرين، فنحن مع مشاركة التجربة واللي احنا بنسميها universal experience يتم مشاركتها. Setting المكان. The setting of the story is clean, well lighted place in the title, but more specifically, it takes place in a cafe late at night around a closing time. So the incidents happen in a cafe late at night around closing time. Story information. The story is a minimalist fiction story. This means that there is a little figurative language, simple plot, small amount of characters, easy vocabulary, meaning short words and sentences. So it is a simple story. It reflects the loneliness, despair, and alienation of man at the end of life. Uh, Life is so fast. According to the capitalist system, people are busy working, people don't have time to communicate. In fact, they invented the uh, WhatsApp, Facebook, or means of communication in order to let people communicate because they are not physically able to communicate. They don't have time to communicate personally, so they communicate through means of mass communication. The story is simple. The style of Ernest Hemingway is forward, straightforward, simple. He uses lots of pronouns, lots of short words, short sentences, a simple plot in order to convey his message. إذا عجبتكم هذه المحاضرة لا تنسوا اللايك والاشتراك وإلى اللقاء الآخر مع شيء آخر ومحاضرة أخرى والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله